guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse stars Shameik reuniting with Gwen Stacy. Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is captured across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. Into the Spider-Verse was one of the first films I reviewed on the channel back in 2018 when I started this whole entire thing. It might be one of the three first films I gave an actual A+ as my rating, and so I was really looking forward to this film. So it's been 5 years since the release of that movie. It's been a very long time, and so I was really looking forward to it. I was hoping that this was really good, and guys, this was awesome. The one thing I was like, this is such I wouldn't say it's an emotional film, but you can get behind something in this film. The characters are so well written. This is what Sony should be doing with their live action stuff, but no, that's not what we're doing. So can't wait for Kraven Hunter. Fucking great. Animation for these films are so well done. It has its own unique style to it, and not only is a sequel, it continues on the story and even adds things to the other film that I like to call the Last of Us 2 type of deal. I mean, other films have done it, but when they reveal something, I was like, oh, Last of Us Part 2. I mean, they kind of did that for, I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my mind for some reason. Is that a spoiler? Maybe not. But the premise, not the premise, but more of a character that wasn't necessarily a character before, that was in the public eye. That's what something The Last of Us Part 2 did and so that's how I saw it. You do see more of Gwen Stacy in this film. You kind of get to see you do get to see more of Gwen Stacy in this film. You kind of see her home world and what she is doing in there, and some backstory to her character, and and also dealing with some trauma as well. That Hailee Steinfeld does a really great job in that. I'm glad to see her in a good Marvel materials for once. Then Hawkeye. I don't know if I reviewed Hawkeye on the channel. I think I might have, or maybe I didn't. I think I might have skipped that. Well, I did watch it, but I didn't bother reviewing it because I didn't really care for that show. She does a great job, and she gets more of a role into this film. There's some moments where certain spider peoples have huge sense of power, and they're kind of sort of dubbed down a little bit, a tiny bit, for the certain scenes to work. And so besides that's more of a nitpick, but it doesn't really bother me that much. And so it was really cool to see from her perspective. You get to see Miguel, who is played by Oscar Isaac, who hasn't been hasn't been getting a lot of great jobs for the past couple years. Star Wars, Moon Knight. Moon Knight starts off great, but I did not really like that final half of that show. I think that show kind of went downhill. And so Dune, he was really great in, but yeah, he does a pretty good job in this movie and portrays a sort of anti-hero. Miguel isn't really a villain. There is really no villain in here. It's more of two different characters seeing two different sides, and thinks that Miguel mostly thinks this is the only way to protect the multiverse. But Miles doesn't believe in that, so he's trying to save even everyone, even if it means one life type of deal. He's willing to take the chance of trying to do something, even if it can come to a cost. But there's a lot of context to it, and I'm trying to avoid spoilers. But yeah, it's there's that kind of dynamic in this film, and you even learn more about Miles' backstory as well. There's a little bit more added to that. The jokes are really funny. I think the jokes do really land in this movie. That is pretty much all I can say. The cameos, the Spider People cameos, Spider-Man cameos were pretty great. A lot of great cameos from different shows and all that. Even a couple other ones I was like, maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. We'll see what happens, type of deal. And so I'm gonna kind of stick away from those mentioning who the cameos were. But yeah, great cameos, great laughs. This is a great film. I can't really think anything bad about this. Like there is like nitpicks, maybe 1 or 2 nitpicks I have with the film, but you don't really feel the runtime, which is 2.5 hours long. This is like one of the longest animation movies ever, and probably one of the longest animation movies for any superhero animated movie. And so this is how you do fan service. Like this, when I was watching this movie, I thought of Super Mario Smash Brothers. That has Chris Pratt and all that, and a lot of people like that film, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate. I don't know how well, I don't remember if I got any hate in my review, but if those people didn't find that review and now they find this, I didn't really necessarily like that film because it was literally, there was no story to it. It was simply just fan service, and this movie does the same exact thing, but doesn't make the fan service the main focus. It's like, okay, these are our characters, this is the situation, and this is our story. And we also sprinkle in, you know, these type of characters. And you know what? We'll even intimate them into the story. They have a purpose. These random cameos have a purpose, and it drives the story. It's just not scene after scene after scene. And that's what I really like about this movie. And that adds something to the Spider-Verse as well. And even expanding it beyond the animation films to the Marvel films. Like Doctor Strange was mentioned, that's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer, I don't think Sony really believed in this film that much because the trailer kind of gave a lot of stuff away. The marketing stuff was pretty bad. They should be fired. But yeah, Doctor Strange was mentioned, and even Tom Holland's Spider-Man was sort of mentioned by Miguel. And so there's so much goodness in this film, and this is only a part 1. So if you guys haven't seen the film yet, I'm gonna let you guys know going into this, it's a part 1. Part 2 comes out next year, so you don't have to wait like another 5 years. But a lot of people are kind of sort of down by that it's only a part 1 because it does end. That, I guess that is a negative to me, but again, it's sort of a nitpick because the movie kind of just ends in a way that's like, okay, we're building up to something, cut, oh, wait, That's pretty much the biggest complaint, but again, it's really a nitpick. I don't really care, but it's also sort of half of a story. But again, I really like this. I had a great time, and I saw this twice before doing this review. That's how much I really like this movie. I'm gonna give Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse an A+. Really had a fantastic time with this movie. Number 1 of the year so far. There's a lot of great movies that came out this year, and a lot of terrible movies. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how my best of the year list turns out. And so there's a lot of type of things going on with that list at this moment, but I'm really happy to see that this film is actually great. Go out and see this. Like this is how you do movies. Like this is how you do animation movies for kids and all that. This is how you do it. You don't just be lazy with the writing and it's like oh, it's a kids movie, it's whatever, they'll enjoy it no more. No, this is how you do it. Go check it out. Thank you guys for watching, and like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye guys.